The reason I chose Grand Valley was primarily because my mom thought it would be a good idea to go to a brand new school.
My dad said, I think there's a college. He said, I know there's a college going up over by Allendale. Why don't we drive over there and talk with them?
I remember tuition started out at $90 a quarter, and there were 3 quarters in a normal year, and so a total of $270 for the full school year. And fortunately, I got a scholarship, so we could afford it.
It was a great, great experience because the class sizes were so small, and the one-on-one with professors and students was absolutely phenomenal.
We had tutorials too, one-on-one with the professors, and those were intimidating, to say the least.
The professors were very honest and not guarded about hurting anyone's feelings.
I have a couple of memories from Grand Valley. The first one was our French professor, and she laid down the rule the first day: no chewing gum in class. That was number one. The second one was we could not yawn.
They were pushing us because they wanted to think of themselves as the Oxford of the United States or something, and they were really academically pushing us to the limits. In fact, some of the professors later, years later, at anniversary, they kind of apologized that they pushed us so much.
Sue and I were talking about the wonderful experiences we had in physical education.
I had to take a lot of the freshman 101 classes that Grand Valley had at that time. One of them was not a 101, but Phys Ed 010.
There was a requirement that we take at least one phys ed class in order to get our degree. But they didn't say that we couldn't take more than one. So I took every opportunity and every new phys ed class that came along.
The first time I drove on campus, there was nothing but cornfields.
The growth in just the 4 years was amazing. Where we started with one building, when I graduated, we had 8 or 10.
When you look out the window, you're not in the middle of a big city or anything. It's just a really great feeling.
One of the things that attracted me to Grand Valley was the fact that they were given a few rowing shells for crew.
Eventually, the athletics did come along, and I think history will show that the first team approved by the Board of Control or the college itself was crew or rowing.
It was Grand Valley's first varsity sport. I don't care what anybody says about it, that's what they named. It was the first official varsity sport at Grand Valley. It's now a club sport.
It was quite an amazing experience here at Grand Valley, and to look back on all of these years, to see so many friends this weekend, so many acquaintances that we've maintained friendships with over the years is really quite something.
I came to Grand Valley, never turned back, loved the experience. Commuted my first year from Grand Rapids, where I grew up. Lived in the Grand Valley apartments my second and third year. I was a resident advisor the third year. And then in my fourth year, in between my third and fourth year, I actually married a woman that I met here, and she and I became the first head resident advisors at Copeland House.
A very important memory for me is meeting my wife of 50 years come this July 1st. Meeting her in 1965, I was working the registration line, and as she was coming through, she very much caught my attention, and I made sure I got her name and phone number and whatever information I could get.
So I'm always thankful to Grand Valley for taking a chance on me and providing me with the basic framework for what I needed to be successful and making me feel confident that I could accomplish and do all these different jobs that I've mentioned to you. That I'm from Grand Valley, I can do it.
Last week, my grandson had orientation here at Grand Valley. We have now gone into the third generation. So Grand Valley is special to all of us.
My experiences at Grand Valley were the most incredible of my life. If it wasn't for Grand Valley, I don't think I would amount to a row of bees.
I'm very proud to say I'm a member of Grand Valley State University.
What amazes me when I come back and I see all the development and I meet wonderful students across the world who have graduated makes me so proud and happy that my mother made the decision for me to come to Grand Valley State. And at that time we called it college.